All right. Move over, kids. Here we are, episode 1 of the podcast. We don't have a name yet, but we have a couple feelers out. I'll actually even get to it. My name is Ken Skinner. I don't even know if I've ever even said my name on my channel, to tell you the truth. I just started off with, move over, kids. Today we're going to talk about, and then I just go into it. I think I might have said my wife's name once, and I probably have said my oldest son's name the most. But my name's Ken Skinner, actually. And interesting note, I wrote a bacon book. So if you're a vegan, you will eventually hate me. So just stop watching the channel now. The other two people as well. This is David Castillo, I think. I interviewed him. Like, I just met David, so I don't know. He might be a horrible human being, but so far he's been okay. But we'll find out together because I don't really know him. And then this is, I thought I knew that one over there. His name is Devin, and I was calling him Devon. As far up to yesterday during the test run, I was calling him Devon until his fiance finally said, "It's not Devon." I'm like, what? it's not. So, hey, Devin, how are you? I don't even know what your last name is.
Tomorrow, and hello, I am doing well.
All right, so today's episode 1. It's technically not episode 1. We had a couple, I would say, 0 issues on Twitch, but we are starting it fresh. We are starting it fresh here. Not that we don't like Twitch. It's just, Twitch is more of, I don't think Drake is going to be calling us up anytime soon, so I figured, let's just go to YouTube.
Very true.
All right, why don't you guys give a little bit of an introduction of yourselves. We'll start with Devin.
Well, I've been a very avid amiibo collector, as you can see here. I'm big into random toys and everything else.
Hang on 1 second. Shout out to Riley. They have joined us. Appreciate you. And how does this sound? Riley's the one that helped us with the sound issues. So tell me how. And also, I was pronouncing his name wrong. It's Devin. Devin, start talking again, and Riley can tell us about the sound.
Okay, well, yeah, like I was saying, I've been a big toy collector and amiibo collector, which is another thing that I just love about Nintendo. And I've been a Nintendo fan since I was 5 or 6 years old, when the first game that I ever played was Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Mario World, Super Nintendo. You're 28 years old right now, right?
Yes.
He can just say move over. He doesn't have any kids. But I can do move over kids, though. And
these are my kids.
I can relate. Okay, now let's hit you up, David.
Yeah, well, if Devin can't say move over, then I definitely. And I share the same memory as him. My first real game experience was Super Mario World on the SNES. Amazing memory. And my first actual console I owned was a N64, and ever since then, just a big Nintendo fan, really biased towards Nintendo, but I'm a collector of all games at this point now. And you might think I'm familiar because you saw me on Ken's channel. A couple weeks ago, I found a super rare Wii U game, and you can see that on his channel there. Just I'm sure it's like the second, third video down from his feed.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's actually gotten like 200 or something views, which is pretty good for my channel. I'm a small channel, 450. Actually, I'm actually like 3 away from 500, which is pretty crazy to me, because I've only been going 4 or 5 months now. So your video is probably 3 or 4 down. If you just like look, the thumbnail I think pretty much has me and David on it. But if it doesn't, with the Wii U Lego Collector's Edition, and like I said, I don't really know David. He posted, I found this, or is this rare, on a Facebook group. I contacted him, and I just kind of, like, the rapport we had, I was just like, why don't you come on our podcast? And now he came on last week when we were on Twitch, and then we were like, you want to come on again? So.
Yeah, I had to sign my soul over to Ken, but we won't talk.
Yes, but don't worry. I've got it in a plastic protector. It's in well hands. It will not
It'll be well taken care of, as I can see in the back, man. So.
Yes, I will be talking about this bad boy because I figure let's let's have some collector spotlights or something like this. So our podcast is fairly new. We're still kind of getting our feet wet, feeling it out. I have kids also that are going to be, that maybe pop in, pop out. They're 3 and 6, so I can tell them all day long, don't come in there, and they're going to come in here. What are you going to do? So let's get into it. Some news things. Let's just talk about some news that happened this week. One thing that I noticed, congratulations to the NES Mini. For the first time in over 30 years, #1 on the sales chart. A Nintendo original console actually beat out every other console in the month of June. And it was only out for a couple days, too, which is even more crazy. But it beat out the Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox One. That's crazy. I mean,
yeah,
NES...
I was very happy to see that, especially because of its inevitable return that it had.
Did you have trouble? Finding it? Did anybody have trouble finding the NESs?
Well, I had mine since day one, so I was the only thing I had trouble with was this controller.
Oh
yeah, the controller. I actually just got one too.
Yeah, the controller's a little bit more elusive, right?
Yeah, these are definitely, especially during the first run, but because everything was, because every console was elusive as well, nobody really noticed. They were just happy to get a console, let alone the second controller, which is really cool that the Super Nintendo Classic came with the second controller. And Riley, yeah, you still need to get one? Oh man, I wish that contest would have took. You could have got that, but don't worry, I'll do another contest for it. But yeah, so this time round they had plenty of consoles, and the controller's still on the rare side. It's not so rare though that people are paying $50 for it, but it's still, you could probably make $10 off it if you were trying to resale it.
Yeah, I was annoyed when I tried to order one off of Walmart when the NES first came back, and I received it smashed. It was the one that I was supposed to be giving to you, Ken, and just
thanks a lot, Walmart. Thanks a lot. Probably saved me on shipping though, because I got the Amazon Prime. What's up, David?
Yeah, by chance I got the first run. Was it over a year now?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just by chance, I was at a GameStop, and I'm a regular there, and my buddy was like, "I just got a freight shipment. Let's see what it is. It might be an NES Classic." And he's like, "If it is, do you want to buy it?" And I was like, "For sure, I'll buy it right now."
Heck yeah.
And it was only one, and it was when the whole craze was going on. You couldn't find any.
Hang on a second. Hey, Riley, thanks for stopping by real quick. We appreciate the support. This will actually be on the channel, so I know you got to go. Feel free to just check it out later. We're going to probably be doing 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time next week, and from now on Saturdays, and most likely it'll run around hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's going to stay on the channel. I'll put it in a separate little category. So, yeah, check us out later. But thanks, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by. Riley is a good cat, guys. That person is always checking out the video. Very, very supportive of the channel. If we could get 10 Rileys, we would be on top of the world. Anyway, what were you saying, David?
Yeah, I see Riley on your comment section a lot, and I think he's very supportive, and it's cool to have a strong, the fan base is really important for a channel to thrive. So
yeah, and Riley's been knocking it out. I got another one, ESP 5000, and a couple others that are pretty solid as well. So, what's your favorite NES Mini game?
I'm a sucker for Balloon Fight. I don't know why. I love
Balloon Fight. Okay.
Yeah, just because it's pretty much like a competitive multiplayer, like couch multiplayer. You're trying to bust your other buddy's bubbles, pretty much, and you get more rewards for being a little bit more reckless. When you're swimming under the last level at the very bottom, and the fish can eat you. I think there's like you get more points or something that way. There's a little item you can get. I'm not sure, but a lot of fun.
That game is somewhat of an anomaly to me. I'm probably going to do a video actually on Balloon Fight, and it's not because I really played it that much, but that game receives a ton of love from Nintendo, the big N. Throughout the years, that game is not that popular. If it was super popular, Balloon Fight would be in Smash Brothers. Let's just say that. I mean, yeah, they're a trophy. I think even an assist, but they really, and there's only been one, maybe two, because in Japan there was a Nintendo exclusive Tingle Balloon Fight, and Tingle from the Legend of Zelda series, actually. Wow. And so you could say there's actually two balloon fights, but let's just pretend that one doesn't exist, because again, Japanese exclusive for Club Nintendo only. So we're going to pretend that one doesn't exist, but Balloon Fight, throughout the years, always seems to come back somehow, some way, in unexpected manners. Like, for example, on the GameCube, there was a pseudo-virtual console in Animal Crossings.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Yeah, you could actually literally get an NES in Animal Crossing. Oh, yeah, see? And then that music would play, and you could get yourself, I think, 10 to 12 games. And
I think there was actually a lot more than that, because I remember at least having, in my Animal Crossing house, I had a whole room with the NES games scattered.
Really? Well, either way, Balloon Fight was one of them. And so you're like, okay, whatever. But then in 2014, 2015, when they had the World Championship again, Balloon Fight was one of the games that the people had to play. And I was just like, why are they showcasing Balloon Fight right now? And I get it. It was just they had to pick a throwback game, and what were they going to do? But it just was this really weird combo for me. And then also back to, let's pretend it's back in existence, the Tingle Balloon Fight right there. So it shows that it's always on the mind of Nintendo for some reason. So they should just give us like a... They should just do like a Fortnite free-to-play type of Balloon Fight.
That would be pretty cool.
I got Sam, S-A-A-M, asked, do you like Rose? Do you like Rose? And then a beer icon. I'm not sure what we're talking about. Are we talking about Rose the flower? Rose the golden girl? Or Rose... are we talking Rose from the PS2? What is that game?
Rule of Rose.
Rule of Rose. Are we talking that? Because if we are, I would love to have Rule of Rose for my collection, and I'd even play it. However, I've actually never played it, so I can't really tell you one way or another. When the PS2 was out, I was all about the N64. I did not get a PS2 until late in the game, and that was just to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. So has anybody ever played that game?
Ken, you're also forgetting, if I might add, it could be rosé, it could be French. So, there could be... No, I'm just kidding. I'm pulling your leg here.
There is one of those little things over the E, so it could be rosé.
What was your question? I'm sorry?
Sam just asked, do you like Rose? With a beer icon. Does anyone know what that means? Because I don't. So we'll have to move on unless Sam wants to elaborate.
Also, Ken, Villagers Up B in Smash is reminiscent of Balloon Fight.
Is it?
Oh,
How
yeah,
is
it
it?
is.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
He gets the two balloons that pop up, and that's how he floats up.
And he's got a little helmet, too.
I think that's actually an exact parody of it.
Yeah, because he flaps his hands from the side just like Balloon Fight.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder why they chose that. I
don't know, man. I think it's Sakurai. He's just a huge game nerd, and he likes to slip in homages every now and then, so...
Cool.
And it's also the fact that, without that, what would they do for Villager? Besides the digging and the stuff like in the fishing and stuff, how would he save himself?
Yeah.
That's true. So that's, there you go. Another reference to Balloon Fight and a huge game. And we know Villager's coming back, so we're probably going to get him back. Mm-hmm. That reference, I mean.
Yeah.
I think Balloon Fight was actually, when they did a poll in Melee, when Melee was being developed, Balloon Fight was like on the top 10. I might be mistaken, but it was popular back in maybe it was like a Japan only poll, but I do remember seeing that.
No, I would say
seen that too.
If anything, it was probably all over the place, because Bayonetta supposedly got in because of the poll, and they said it was the Europeans who pushed Bayonetta to the top.
I voted for her as soon as the ballot came live. I did Bayonetta.
I don't remember who I think I was voting for Bomberman, actually.
Yeah,
I put in for Bomberman as well.
I put
No,
Bayonetta and,
I remember what I did. I did Bonk, but then it was a toss-up between Bomberman and Bonk.
Yeah, I did Bayonetta and Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, yeah, that will never happen. Hey, so we're trying to figure out our podcast name, and right now I posted a quick little survey, and right now Power Up Podcast, the Power Up Podcast is number 1, but we have Legend of Podcast is number 2. What are my other options? I really liked, oh man, Old School Nerds got nothing. Nerds helped us a lot the other day with the tags. Geekery, I like Geekery a lot too, but I don't think, I bet the spelling is just going to be too weird for people.
Yeah.
It does sound like a weird name, but I like it. You could make it happen.
Power Up Podcast sounds pretty cool because I think the abbreviation would be POP, P-O-P, right?
No, but maybe we should, it's P-U-P, PUP. We'd be PUP.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
And
it's long
I thought,
man.
yeah, Pop would have been cool, but I think Pops are too, I think we'd get too confused, or we would never climb. We would never overtake Funko Pops on the Google search. There's just no way. We'll never be that popular.
Oh.
Speaking of which, why don't we let that segue into another bit of news? Devin, why don't you talk about something?
Okay, well, I was looking at Funko's Twitter yesterday, and I think it was yesterday. I saw they posted up a poll of saying which Pokemon characters should we make next because of this little guy right here being made, and now everything's going crazy about it. Pikachu is sold out more times than I can count in my local area, and everybody's flipping out for it.
Yeah, those are going for like $40 to $60 a pop right now. No pun intended on eBay, but I've seen them sell for more. I've seen $100, I've seen $80. That was probably during the first day though. But if the restocks slow to a trickle and we run into Christmas, those will be going easy, $100, $150.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that there was the amount that they got was like 54,000 scattered across the entire planet, I'm assuming.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you look up on just how many stores are in the U.S. alone, I don't know where else Target goes, that roughly leaves about like 30 units per store.
Is it only Target, Devin?
Yeah, it was the Target exclusive. So at the moment, it was only showing up there. I don't know if there was another store that maybe got it in a different country, because there is this website called Pop Culture in New Zealand, I think it is, that gets stuff that is supposed to be exclusive for us. But I don't know.
I doubt Target. I think it's only in America. They used to have Canada stores, but I remember during the Amiibo craze, they all closed. So, and because everybody was like, well, how are we gonna get Jigglypuff? Because Jigglypuff was an exclusive. So I don't know if Pikachu would be available in another country like Canada at a different store. But I could also see it not, because Funko Pop, they know the art of making a collectible. They have made that an art form. Whether they want to make it super rare, kind of rare, ultra rare, common, they know how to do it.
Yeah. Like, there was the game Destiny. They had a line of Funko Pops that came out, and one of them for the character Crota was a Target exclusive, but in Canada, I think it was a Best Buy exclusive. So it varies from place to place.
Yeah, maybe it's region specific.
Yeah, but when it comes to getting more Pokemon Pops, I think we're just inching closer and closer to them finally making the Nintendo Pops, and mine and Ken's wallets will just be going.
Oh my goodness! If they did an official licensed Nintendo, like besides the Amiibo, man, that would go for bukus, man.
Yeah,
that brings up some. Go on.
I'm just hoping that they're not all exclusive. I will just be very upset if I can't track them down.
Oh man, that brings up you just made me think of something, because I've been fearing the impending Zelda pop apocalypse. But what about Smash Brothers? Because then you just make it at the Smash Brother line, And then it's like, oh, I could probably avoid that after I get every single one, but that's like 65 characters right there.
Yeah.
Like,
and
without even
here's
trying.
The next nightmare. If they did a Smash Brothers Pop Amiibo crossover, like there was Amiibo chips in them, I would throw in the towel. I'm done.
Did that even, like, would Pops even do that? Do they team up like that with people?
I don't know, but if that would just be a nightmare situation for me.
Yeah.
Especially
man.
because of my horde over here. I can't.
Yeah, man, I don't even know what would happen. We would be, like, we might have to do, like, I don't know, this podcast would have to become an intervention.
Well, how does the I never really kept up with the amiibo craze. I'm sure there's like super rare amiibo as well.
Oh yeah.
There are and they're not. There's really, unless you're talking like in Japan, there's. I hear your dog. I was wondering if that was that was me.
I should probably go calm them down because they're gonna keep. If you want to give me a couple seconds, real quick.
Okay. We'll talk about amiibo when you get back. That way you can hear it. But what's your favorite amiibo? Devin. I want to call you Devon.
I'm sorry. Right now, well, in just sheer creativity, since I've said this before, it's Game & Watch because I like you can change the pose. Okay. But on the uniqueness of the actual amiibo, I like the what's his name, the Guardian, because of the bendable arms.
Yeah, what are all the crazy ones? There's the Guardian with the bendable arms. There's Squishy Metroid. There's Mega Yarn.
I forgot about him.
Mega Yarn Yoshi. The 3 Yarn Yoshis. Detective Pikachu behind ya is large. Then there's Game & Watch with the 4 poses, interchangeable. And then we have... Is there anyone else? Is there any other like crazy silly one?
They're gonna
Glow in the Dark Boo.
Whenever Dark Souls comes out, they're gonna do Solar Aura, I think.
Oh yes, yeah. That one's gonna be cool.
I was looking up on eBay just out of curiosity because I do that occasionally for stuff that I already own. The Solera Vestora pre-order for the amiibo is like $100 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just because the game got delayed so much or they're thinking that the game's going to get canned. I don't know, but it's up there.
I hope it doesn't because that's another topic. But I also think because Dark Souls is coming to the Switch, that Solera Vestora has a chance to getting into Smash Brothers, whether it's a trophy, an assist trophy, or even a character. Because I mean,
yeah, that's amiibo.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. It's probably going to sell out like crazy too if it gets released.
Well, the amiibo sold out for a while, and then it had another pre-order run, and I've had it since the day one that it came out on the pre-orders. So I don't know. I'm just hoping it comes out soon. I really want that game and the amiibo.
I hope they do this because I want the amiibos to have a little bit more of an exclusive function other than just the standard change of outfit. I would love if that Dark Souls amiibo unlocked an assist trophy in Smash Brothers, but that was it.
That'd
just
be cool.
Because that I think would be an amazing little an amiibo then, and it could do a lot.
And I think in Smash Brothers it has probably the best functionality I've ever seen of an amiibo. Like you can store your save data, and so if you go to a friend's house, you just hit their Wii U, and your character stats are transferred, so you can play like I guess with customizable fighters is what I'm trying to.
Yeah. That's I still think Nintendo should do a Skylanders type open world sandbox, whatever you want to call it.
I think that's what they're trying to do with Starlink, though. If you saw any videos for that, that's looking like it's going to be up there with Skylanders.
Well, we'll see, because, I mean, the Toys to Life genre is pretty much dead. Legos have quietly gone away. Disney said, we're done. And Amiibos are still, they're still coming out, but honestly, the only reason why Amiibos are such a success is because us Nintendo people will buy anything with Nintendo on it. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what it is. But I'm okay with that. And Skylanders, if you notice, they had that Imaginators or whatever, but that's been a while now. It is on the Switch, and it seems, and I think it's good that Skylanders is doing this, but they're letting time between the runs happen.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be beneficial, but Skylanders even has lost a ton of the interest.
Yeah, I think it did too. But I don't know. I mean, I've had an interest in Amiibo since day one, and I'm definitely going to get that Starlink game too. It seems very interesting, especially because I almost said Wii U. Oh my God, the Switch version. The Switch version has the Star Fox ship. I almost said shop for some reason.
Now, Devin, if you could kind of quickly, I saw a little bit of Starlink, but what's the whole theme with that game? Like, what kind of game is it?
Well, while you discuss that, Devon, I'm going to share our channel, so you'll see me on the computer, but I'm definitely listening, and I'm not tuning to anyone else, so keep going.
Okay. Well, the video that I saw was only at E3. It's essentially kind of like Amiibo. You have, like, I guess, a dock-looking thing that I think it was attaching to the controller, if I'm not mistaken, but because the controller has the Amiibo functionality, I'm guessing it's reading it like that. You build the ship. You can put, like, the body of a Star Fox's ship and random other pieces, like the guns and stuff, on the ship, and it translates right to the game, which I think is very interesting, too.
Oh, that is cool.
Another cool thing is I noticed that you can take the gun, and you'd think, obviously, you'd only want to face it forward, but you can take the gun and put it on the back of the ship facing backwards. It translates exactly how you're building it too, which I thought that was really, really neat.
Whoa,
that is amazing.
Yep.
So it's going to be on other consoles, but I'm definitely getting it for the Switch just because of the Star Fox thing.
Yeah, so does that mean there are, like, Fox humanoids in the Starlink universe? Or is this just some guy cosplaying? Star Fox is in the game. There's going to be a whole Star Fox little mini campaign to the game, I think, from what I heard. So
it's actually Fox McCloud. Like he's running around, right?
Yes. I don't know if you physically see I don't know if you physically see his character, but I know when in the mini campaign you see like the windows for Slippy Toad and the rabbit, I forget his name, come up, and it's just like you're playing a Star Fox game. It's just in this Starlink universe. And
you have the R-Wing. The R-Wing is there.
Yes.
I think I saw, yeah.
And from what I understand, that's going to be like the special, or maybe not special edition, or just the general edition of that game to come with the R-Wing as the first ship. But then the only other thing that kind of is concerning me about it is how they're going to market the rest of the ship parts and how much they're going to be. So I'm not really sure about that. Because it sounded like, I don't know if you're going to buy an entire ship and it's just going to have the guns and everything you need, or you're going to go buy this gun and this ship body or these wings. Because it seems like it's that customizable at this point.
Yeah, it goes to show you how deep Ubisoft and Nintendo's relationship is getting. You know, with the success of Mario Rabbids late last year, and then you have Starlink. It's just, I mean, at this point, they could become they could almost produce software just like Rare did back in the 90s for them.
Yeah, I would like to see that happen. I mean, I liked Mario Rabbids. It's just I didn't really get into it only because I'm not really good at the strategy thing.
Oh, I love those type of games. I absolutely love those type of games. So I was big into it. The only thing I didn't really like about it was like, I really didn't. It almost felt like the in-between stuff just wasn't for me. They had little puzzles in between going from battle to battle, and the puzzles weren't as. I mean, I like puzzles. I love the Zelda puzzles, the old school Zelda puzzles, but those kind of puzzles just weren't so. They weren't as engaging as a Zelda puzzle, but they weren't, and they were. So it just didn't really. I felt like it was wasting my time. I just wanted to get to the next battle because those battles were so unique and cool.
Yeah, very true. The one thing that I would really like, I know everybody whining about all these ports and everything, but I want to see Star Fox Adventures from the GameCube either get a remake or possible sequel. I loved that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely don't care. I want more ports. More ports. Port everything. literally port everything. Like,
Yeah. At this point, they've almost gotten the entire good Wii U library. So
yeah, what's left on the Wii U? What is left on the Wii U that is a pure exclusive? Because
Mario Maker.
I would like this. Yeah, Mario Maker is a definite one, and Super Luigi U and the Super Mario U, whatever that game's called.
I'm almost thinking that they're probably not gonna port those. Just make a Switch version of Super Mario Brothers.
I heard that there was supposed to be, that was part of that leak that showed up on 4chan that is still slowly coming true. I heard there was supposed to be something like that coming out. I hope there is, because I love that style game.
Yeah.
I want Mario Maker on the Switch. I definitely want Mario Maker on the Switch. However, it is on the 3DS, so technically it is not a Wii U exclusive anymore. And same with Woolly World on the 3DS. Captain Toad, now 3DS and Switch. I think right now the only straight-up Wii U exclusives are Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Wii U, Luigi U, Kirby. What was that one? Kirby. He was
Rainbow Curse.
Rainbow Curse, and
I can't think of anything else.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not talking about
Star Fox Zero.
Yep, Star Fox Zero, which I hope they do that one again, because I don't think it didn't get the rep it deserved. It got the yeah.
That Star Fox Guard game that it came with was really cool.
I like
played
that
it
one
on my friend's console. The funny thing is about that, I bought that game brand new when it came out. I have never opened it. It's still sitting on my shelf right now.
Yeah, same. I saw the Star Fox Zero bundle at Toys R Us for like $19-20.
Yeah, it sucks if you bought it new, because that game's like dirt cheap now.
Yeah, and it's, I think actually when I found that Jurassic World game, Ken, next to it were like 4 Star Fox Zero copies that were like, I don't know, $15-20, and what's funny is that they were protected like to the T with that glass glass container, but the Jurassic World had this ugly spider tag on it. And it's like,
that still hurts thinking about it, because that game you got like 2 Gs. You got offered 2 Gs for it.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I really care about is, one, I found it, and then also it's got stickers. The seals are still intact really nicely. So
that's cool. That is definitely cool about that. And as far as we know, you're the only person with a sealed copy in the world.
I do anticipate, and I probably should have told you in the Ken, but I do anticipate there probably will be other people that will come across it. Whether it's sealed though, I don't know. I think it'll be like third party, like a garage sale or something. You know, it's funny that this game could just be in a 10-year-old's room right now, and he just wanted it because of the minifig. He doesn't even care about the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Yard Sale Hunter, Kyle Hunter, Yard Sale Hunter. He's on YouTube. Great guy. Check out his channel and let me know if you like it. But Yard Sale Hunter, basically, I don't know for sure, but the way he told the story was, someone put it on eBay for like, I don't know, like $20. Yard Sale Hunter contacted the person, it turned out to be a kid, emailed him and literally said, I'm going to give you $200 and mail it to me. And then he got it. And unfortunately, they did it in one of those dumb envelopes. But it was a kid. It was a kid. That's why he gave it a pass. Plus, it was still whatever. But yeah, the dude straight up gave him an extra $200, which is great stand-up guy. But I wouldn't do it. But that's why you should probably go give him a like and unsubscribe to my channel, because I'm just a horrible human. But just kidding. Don't unsubscribe to my channel. But
Ken, going back to the sorry to cut you off, but going back.
No, that's okay. Cut me off.
I have to mention Mario Maker. I don't know how it would be translated to the Switch unless they added like another peripheral, because the joy about Mario Maker for the Wii U is, I know this sounds weird, but actually using the gamepad and looking down and then looking up, I think there was something really neat about actually drawing on it and then seeing it on the TV.
I 100% agree with that. 100% agree, because I mean, there were a few games that utilized the Wii U gamepad to its potential, and Super Mario Maker definitely was one of them. And it's possible, though. I mean, it's possible you probably wouldn't get the TV aspect of it because it's still a touchscreen. So you could probably do the touchscreen Maker part in handheld mode, and then it is what it is. By the way, everyone, we are aware of a couple issues. I'm looking at the YouTube screen, and it's really fuzzy, really grainy, so I apologize for that. I don't think there's anything I can do right now, so we're just going to have to... I mean, technically, this is a podcast, so all you really got to do is listen to us. So I suggest turning off the TV and just listen to us right now, because the podcast just does not look good. I'll have that fixed next week. This is our first time on YouTube for this long of a period. Also, we are aware that David does sound, I wouldn't say echoey, but he's in a big room, and he's already said that he's going to fix that next week. So we're aware of those issues. Let's just keep on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
What game are you playing right now, Devin?
Well, I was picking up on Kirby Star Allies again, thanks to the new Dream Friends showing up, which that was part of that 4chan leak where the character, I forget her name, I think her name was Adeline and Ribbon from Kirby Crystal Shards, one of my favorite N64 games, showed up in this game, and I was ecstatic to see that. I haven't gotten to play with her yet because of the way that the Dream Friends come up, but I did try out Meta Knight, Dark Meta Knight, and Daroach, the little mouse, or Darouch, however you say it. But yeah, I tried him out, and they're both pretty cool characters.
Yeah,
I actually am not. I love Kirby, but I've never played one of his games. I have never played a game. I'm not even saying like I played 5 minutes of a game and put it down. I have never played a Kirby game.
Wow. Yeah.
You need to change this.
Yeah, Ken, those games, I could, honestly, this 2-hour podcast can be all about Kirby if it was up to me, but...
I know, that's one of my Nintendo sins. That's a good video. I should do a video on Nintendo sins.
Yeah, it's, I mean, my favorite Kirby game is actually probably the most underrated, appreciated. It's Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube.
Dude, I love that one.
It's so good, and I know I keep talking about Sakurai, but he's my hero. But talk
about Sakurai. We could all day Sakurai.
He made that game. I think he's still in his prime, in my opinion. But he made that. First of all, he made Kirby in Smash Brothers. He made Kirby when he was 19. I mean, what were we doing at 19? You know, but
I'm 38 and I'm doing a podcast.
I was playing his games at 19. You know, but it's. The concept behind Kirby Air Ride, if I quickly go through it, you've got like 3 modes: free ride, air ride, and city trial. And city trial is ahead of its time. Devin, you could probably agree with this. It had events that like you would pretty much play city trial for like 20-25 minutes. You and 4 friends just going around the city and like looting crates and powering up your air ride. And throughout that time, sometimes you would see like Dynablade would just fly down, and you have to go and fight Dynablade with your 4 buddies. And if you kill them, like it's like Destiny. You have these it's like loot systems pretty much, and like raids. It was ahead of its time, man. And I think it got just misreviewed, in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And it has so much content, and the Kirby Air Ride 2 would be like it would be probably the best game or a best-selling Switch game if it came out, just because of its you would have online connectivity, just powering up your just imagine powering up your little star and going out with friends on like raids and stuff. Sorry, I'm going on, but that would, I mean, could you envision something?
No,
like that,
I hit my microphone. That's why I made that face.
I definitely could, and there's so many. Well, as compared to from then to now, there's so many more characters that they could add into it. It could be almost like a racing MMO in a way.
That would be so cool. That'd be so cool.
Is there a Kirby timeline, or is it just kind of like whatever?
To be honest, I don't know. That much I don't know. I mean, I used to watch the show a little bit, but I never really got into it.
I love the show, man. The Kirby lore runs deep, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Like it's like Meta Knight is a spoiler, I guess, but when you've never played it, but when you beat him, he's like a blue Kirby, and I'm guessing he's like the same race of a Kirby. But there's some theories going around that Meta Knight is Kirby, but 300 years in the future is what they're saying.
That'd be
I
awesome.
never heard that one. That's it.
Yeah.
I heard that Meta Knight was actually Kirby's like parent or someone to Kirby.
There's a lot of theories, but it's in the show he mentions that Kirby is of the same race as Meta Knight, but he's a very like juvenile version of him. Like he's like a baby essentially, and when he grows older, he can become a Star Warrior essentially, and it can wield swords and actually protect his planet. So
I love Meta Knight. I love the way he looks. Meta Knight, I feel, could pretty much be a villain in any like almost any series.
Yeah,
because he looks BA. Like he seriously looks super tough, and it's like it's just weird when it's like you see King DDDD and then you see Meta Knight and you're like,
Meta Knight's always been my boy.
Why are they so?
Meta Knight's actually
Say that again. Say that again. You broke up a little.
He's an anti-hero, Meta Knight, and even DDD. He is the villain of the Kirby games, but he's just I think he's misunderstood.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I think it's just because when it comes down to it, it's just because Kirby wants to eat, and these people are in Kirby's way when he wants to eat, essentially. So.
Whoa, wait. Okay, wait a second. This is adding some new dynamics. So wait. Well, I gotta say, if someone, I don't care if they're hungry or not, if someone is trying to eat me, whether or not I'm standing in their way, they're the villain.
yeah. Kirby's hangry the entire time.
Basically,
the Kirby game. So.
So DDD is just trying to protect his people.
He is the king of the kingdom.
Popstar.
Yeah, Popstar, and he has his henchmen, but they're not essentially committing like evil acts per se. He causes problems. Like he in the show, he answered to a third party, which was actually Mr. Nightmare, right, Devin? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And Mr. Nightmare was the one that actually summoned monsters. He was pretty much like an arms dealer to DDD. He's like, hey, check out this new monster I have. And he would order the monster, and the monster would come, and the monster would just wreak havoc and go out of control to where DDD was like, whoa, this is too crazy. And then Kirby would have to kill the monster, essentially. So.
Oh, wait a second. I got some questions.
That's the lore, man. It's
okay, wait. No, this is not. We're not changing the subject right now. Something's like, I'm not connecting a couple things. First off, let's go to the cartoon. When did this cartoon air?
It was
a while.
Yeah, it's 2001.
2001. Yeah. And what how long was it? 50 episodes, 60 episodes?
It was like 100 and something episodes, man. It went more than people anticipated. Okay.
Was it Japanese only or in America too?
It was
it came here.
Yeah, it was part of the 4Kids channel.
Okay.
That hosted it had Ninja Turtles, One Piece, and one of my favorite animes, Ultimate Muscle.
Okay. Now, is this show kind of like the Pokemon show where it's not really canon, because even my son thinks Ash is going to be in in Smash Brothers, but it's not Ash, it's Red.
Right.
With the exception of Ash Greninja, Ash Greninja is the single Pokemon in the game that makes you believe that the Pokemon show is actually canon, because there's in Sun and Moon there's a pre-order demo version of Ash Greninja you could get.
Yeah, I think the show isn't canon, but there are some themes in there that are in the games. And Sakurai was actually a producer of the show, and he actually said that they wanted to make Kirby talk, but Sakurai was like, Kirby can't talk, so they didn't make him speak any lines or anything. So
That's interesting.
he did have say over the show.
Okay, so
I think
now
it'd be weird if Kirby ever talked, though.
Yeah.
So now I gotta ask this. Okay, so let's go all the way back to the NES game, the original.
She left with it.
Kirby is flying or doing whatever he's doing. He's in a kingdom. How do you get to that kingdom?
He is born in Popstar. Popstar is his planet.
Okay. And is DDD the ruler of Popstar? I know nothing. I literally know nothing of this.
He pretty much, he's the king.
Okay, so this race of Kirbys, how many Kirbys are there? A million? They're just like people?
No, Kirby is the only one in Popstar. The only Kirby race. He is one.
He is one. Meta Knight is also a Kirby. Are there more Kirbys than... does he eventually find another planet where there's a bunch of Kirbys?
No, but in Amazing Mirror, he has help of 3 other Kirbys. There's a gimmick in the game that you could call them on a cell phone. I'm not making this up. Okay. You could call them on your little Kirby cell phone, and they fly in 3 little warp stars, and they have your back. So there are other Kirbys out there.
Does he ever question his own mortality? Maybe like why am I born on this planet? And how was he born? Did he where his did he just wake up and come into existence?
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't have any existential crisis of any kind, but he's just he's like a baby, man. He has the mind of a baby, and he's just hungry all the time, and he also is badass. I guess he copies abilities. So
yeah.
So is he a baby or is he not a baby?
Meta Knight says in the show that he's still very young and early in his life is what he says.
So he could be 6 years old.
Right. He could be, because Meta Knight, they said that Meta Knight was somewhere in the 300s. They age differently. And he's a very mature version of his race. So if Kirby's 4, 5, 6, then he's just super early on in his life.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. Does he ever meet his parents?
No, I don't think. Not in the show or anything. No.
Or the game. Okay, so.
Well, that's why there was a rumor that Meta Knight is his dad or something like that.
Yeah.
There's
rumors that it could be a relative of Kirby, or it is Kirby himself, and over time he's just he's battle worn. He's been.
Guys, I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna keep this going for a while, unless you guys oppose, because I'm beginning to think that Kirby is the villain. Maybe he is Meta Knight, and Meta Knight recognizes that he's a villain, but Kirby hasn't recognized that he's a villain. This is my mind is going in a bunch of different directions. Okay, so he's on what's the world called? Popstar. So King DDD is the ruler of the world Popstar. Right. For somehow, some way, a Kirby, the one that we know and love, is born on Popstar. And at that point, that's where we start off in the first game. And he's just going and eating people, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so now he's eating people. These people haven't attacked him at all. He's just eating them. And so once he eats one of these people, basically now he's a villain on this planet, and so King DDD is trying to kill Kirby at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, it does make him seem he's the thing that needs to be taken care of, because yeah, you're right. I mean,
put ourselves on the shoes. Let's pretend Godzilla just straight up comes out of the ocean, right? And he starts eating people. What is our government supposed to do?
Right.
Take him out.
And Godzilla is gonna walk from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. And from that point on, he has to eat to get there.
Mm-hmm.
What is our government supposed to do?
Take him out.
Protect the people.
I'm sorry, but I think DDD.
He's justified. Yeah.
I mean,
Kirby!
the same could be said with even Mario too, because I mean, he just showed up in the Mushroom Kingdom, starts freaking smashing things, and then goes after Daisy or Peach or whoever at the time.
But in that scenario, Bowser has kidnapped Princess Peach, and he's trying to save Peach. Therefore, in the eyes of one government, he is a savior. In the eyes of another government, he is a terrorist. There are two kingdoms at war.
And the other thing that I thought was funny about that, you like how all these other times he tries to go and kidnap her. Mario Odyssey, he's trying to go legal and actually marry her.
That's true.
I thought that was the funniest part of that game.
That's true. And would they have, if he had married her, were they going to go straight up old school medieval and like recognize the marriage? That was it. Game over. The whole series would have been done because they are just like, well, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to learn to love him. It's on paper.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
But this Kirby thing is just blowing my mind. Okay, what about in other games then?
So some of the other games don't really have, the story isn't fleshed out by any means. It's just like Battle Royale, Kirby Battle Royale, or even Air Ride. There's no story mode. You're just kind of
Kirby Epic Yarn was kind of weird too, if I'm remembering correctly.
What was that?
You know how Yoshi's Woolly World is, where yarned.
Oh, I know what it is, but like, what is there a story? Is it just happened to be a different kind of art? Like, Toon Link is
don't
like.
remember it that much.
Yeah, it's been 8 years,
but...
so I really don't remember much about that one. I don't even think I beat it.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm gonna like start playing Kirby because I need to find this out. If he he's a bad guy.
Yeah, see, I've always been a big fan of Kirby, as you can see with that thing behind me too. I love Kirby. It's not exactly a challenging game. That's the one thing I wish that it was a little more challenging. Mm-hmm. Like in Kirby's Star Allies, I have like 60 lives built up just because of the way I played the game. So I don't know. But that being said, it's not exactly bad in that regard. I just think it's fun. But because you can get more than one of the dream friends, I think it makes it a little too easy in that aspect. So I try to stick with only one. But that's just me.
That's how the Pokemon games are for me. They're just a little too easy for me to really get into them as much as other people have. I wish I was into Pokemon as much as other people, but just can't because it's just a little too easy. Yeah. Before I drop the subject though, can you guys give me any reason why Kirby is a good guy?
I don't think so. Now that
yeah, I mean, yeah, I got nothing.
We're at a loss.
Ken has successfully villainized Kirby.
I'm sorry, I never played a Kirby game.
You have to play his games, and then maybe you can kind of relate to him a little bit.
I mean, he might be.
Ken, do you ever get hungry?
Yeah.
But you should definitely start with Star Allies, though.
I don't eat people, though. Sentient creatures.
Games, this thing has got the best graphics and all that stuff, I would say.
It's a very pretty game, yeah.
And like the backgrounds are really cool looking and everything, so I think it's one of the best ones.
Yeah, I love the depth of field. It's kind of fuzzy, so it kind of looks like it's really far away.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It's a really pretty. You should. I would probably recommend you starting with Star Allies, Ken.
Star Allies,
and then play with the kiddos. You guys can play 4-player. So
that's the one on Switch right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I was this close to buying that one, but I didn't. I'm glad I did it now. I don't know if I should let my kids play this horrible creature.
And then if you ever play with the buddies, you should pop in Kirby Air Ride.
I actually have a friend, a big GameCube fan. He always talks to me about air ride. And speaking of which, there's going to be an air ride stage in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, they brought in the City Trial music, Devin. I don't know if you saw that, man.
I did
Amazing.
not.
And then
That's
also, we have to remember that Smash Run on the 3DS for Smash Brothers is essentially a City Trial version of Smash Brothers, because you play for like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and you're collecting these little icons that boost your jump, boost your attack, boost your launch power, and then at the end of that, you fight. So
yeah, I completely forgot about that.
So Sakurai has brought his theme from one game to another. I love the guy. I hope I meet him someday.
Yeah, that guy is cool. He's the second coming of Miyamoto.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of. I mean, they'll probably Miyamoto's kind of like the Leo da Vinci of video games, in that if you look at all the things he created, because Sakurai, and I'm not taking anything away from the dude, he's pretty much Smash Brothers and Kirby, right? Has he really done? He's
Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh, but from a creator standpoint.
No, he's actually just a freelancer for Nintendo, man, which is kind of cool.
I thought he had his hands in Mega Man too. I thought, or maybe I'm wrong.
He did Meteos, that puzzle game on the DS. He did WarioWare DIY, which is a Japanese only game for the DS.
No, I think it's in America.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then also Kid Icarus, and man, I'd like for him to make another creation. I think that would be pretty cool. There's also theories on boards where Sakurai completes about 6 games a month. Like, he actually beats 6 games a month, even with this hectic schedule. Like, there was an article where he was praising the Xbox's hardware, and he was also praising Destiny for I don't know what he was raving about, but people were talking on the board saying that since he is a freelancer, that other companies could take him on and he could make games for him, kind of like Hideki Kamiya for Platinum Games was making Scalebound for the Xbox, and then it got canceled.
Are you sure he's a freelancer? That just does not sound right.
Well, I mean, he is a freelancer. That Sora, his company, is a freelancing company within the bounds of Nintendo at the moment.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah.
Man, it'll be a sad day when he finally does quit Smash Brothers.
Because he left HAL Laboratory 10 years ago. So.
I thought he was still head of it. Okay.
Yeah, him and Iwata were actually the head of it in the 90s, up until the end of probably when Brawl's development started. He created his own company, Sora something, Sora, and it's a freelance company.
Wonder why he did that.
I think maybe creative freedom. He did talk about feeling out at the end of his run with HAL Laboratory.
So. I can see that. I've heard he says these things that a lot of people will try to dissect and pretty much say, "That's it, no more Smash Brothers." But then we almost get a Smash Brothers. I don't know if he could let that one go.
Right. I mean, it's a measure of pride. Imagine you're making Smash Brothers and you're just burnt out, and then 7 years down the line, Nintendo's like, "Hey, we know you don't want to make another Smash Brothers. We're gonna give it to this new young gun." And then I'm sure he's just like, "Wait. I think I got this one."
Yeah.
I think that's just what it comes down to. Is essentially that. So.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be cool. Yeah, I would love to see what he could come up with. I hope Miyamoto. I know Miyamoto has kind of started handing over the reins of everything. I don't know how much he was in on Odyssey, but I know he took a way big step back on Breath of the Wild. But I don't know about Odyssey. But I wonder if he's gonna have if he will have any more games left in him, I
don't know. Odyssey was helmed by Koizumi, right? He's the guy.
I can't remember. I was paying way more attention to Zelda at the time.
So if you guys remember that Nintendo Switch presentation 3 months before the system came out. Koizumi is the guy who was demonstrating the ice cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he if you look at his resume, man, he was in Ocarina of Time developing as junior designer under a senior designer. Like he's been in the company for 20 something years now. So it's yeah, you think about the new generation of Nintendo and where it's heading, and it's exciting, man. The new president is like 46 years old.
Yeah, that's what they wanted with Iwata. Someone who would be around for a while, but he just had a freak disease that, unfortunately took his life, R.I.P. And, I think Iwata, it's kind of amazing. There are some things that I was not looking forward to with Iwata. He was going to do that, what was it, that health initiative or something, like wellness fit of life. Quality of life.
Yep.
But then again, I mean, I would have said that the Wii Fit would have sucked, and while, I mean, I actually played it, enjoyed it, I didn't lose weight off it, really, but it sold. It was gangbusters on the Wii. And then he had a large hand in the Switch, and that's what, like, I hope they keep with that. Because Iwata, if you look at the Switch, it's pretty much what the Wii U should have been, almost. Yeah. And for you to have such a giant failure and then pretty much follow it up with, well, this is what we really wanted, and then that to be a huge success, I mean, Iwata, and, that's gutsy. That's gutsy to just be like, no, I got a vision. Stick with it. Instead of, oh, that failed, let's change everything. So hopefully this new dude keeps that kind of mentality, and so I'm glad. Nintendo's pretty good about knowing what to do, and
yeah, I definitely agree.
The Wii is such a success, the Switch such a success. I mean, they know how to make those success stories happen, and they don't when they're failing, they're not. It doesn't really show. They don't really show that much worry, They just say, yeah, we got to be better.
Yeah.
And this new dude, there is a direction, though, that seems to be headed. The sale figures are out, and digitally, Animal Crossing has made $42 million. Mario Run, $63 million. Fire Emblem, $400 million in 18 months.
Wow.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, digitally. So that is going to be, that's a huge red flag. And I was watching, what was it? I was watching Smash JT. This is another YouTuber. He's kind of a small YouTuber, but I've reached out to him, and he's actually gave me a couple tips. Really nice guy. He made an excellent point saying he's glad that the Switch is such a success, because had the Switch been a failure, but they saw a $400 million game on a digital, iPhone game, mobile game, then maybe Nintendo would have just changed all directions to mobile. But because we have the Switch, they can still do both. Mm-hmm. But with $400 million going to Fire Emblem, which, while super popular in Japan, not that popular everywhere else. I mean, that's crazy.
Game, though.
Oh, I love it. It's my second favorite franchise. But to everybody else, it's just like, oh yeah, I've heard of Fire Emblem. They're the guys with the swords in Smash Brothers, right? But it's like, what do you guys feel about that? I mean, for one, congratulations on that $400 million, but that just means we're going to get more. I know there's a Mario Kart game in the works, and I heard at once upon a time there was a Zelda game in the works. What do you guys feel about that $400 million? Do you think that's going to cause more games going to mobile, more resources? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I definitely think it's going to end up having a lot more. But in my personal opinion, I just hope they make the games just okay, like how they did with Super Mario Run. You can play a couple levels, see how you like it, and then just pay $10 to buy it. I hate this new age of free games that are riddled with ads and you have to buy something every 15 seconds just to keep playing it. I hate that. But
unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Going to come back with more.
Nintendo, I doubt, will ever do a completely buy it one and you're done game. Mario Run, 63 million. Fire Emblem, 400 million.
Yeah, but there was really past paying the $10 on Mario Run, there really was nothing else to buy. There was no microtransactions.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that the microtransaction is the way of mobile to make your money.
I guess I can see that on a business standpoint, but as a gamer, I've missed the times where you just, okay, click buy, play a game.
100%. 100%.
And then the more the times that I hear these people complaining about it is, oh, why should we have to buy this game? They should just release it. I'm like, am I the only one that remembers you had to buy every cell phone game back in the day? Even on the days of like where the cell phone still had pixels on them?
Yeah.
Yes, you are the only one that remembers that.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I envision, or I hope to envision a world where the mobile and the like a Switch or a 3DS can coexist. It's really exciting to see, you know, those sales numbers be super high, meaning that they could probably, you know, have like the younger developers of Nintendo maybe work on more user-friendly titles like Pocket Camp and Fire Emblem Heroes. And I would like to see maybe diet or light versions of franchises come to the mobile platform, like I don't know, having something in the vein of like Kirby or Zelda as well. But whenever it comes to the actual like the Switch, having the actual full Animal Crossing game where you can go around your neighborhood and go to your friend's neighborhood, buy and do all the cool stuff, but yet maybe have some type of connectivity to the mobile platform. Maybe like you can only get a certain shirt or buy certain fruit, you know, that would kind of entice players to kind of cross-pollinate.
I think something like that might actually happen, because if you look like with Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu, they're already going to have it connected to Pokemon Go. So
yeah, Pokemon Go.
If they made one for the Switch, I definitely think they would connect it to Pocket Camp somehow.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go is definitely, if they don't connect it to Pocket Camp, like right away or when they're thinking, they probably will after they see the success of Pokemon Go, Ash, Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah, I already have that game on pre-order. I'm excited for it, even though I don't really exactly like the idea of the Pokemon Go style gameplay coming into a home console game, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm glad. I guess it's more of a jumping on point for people that are playing the game on mobile, because I mean the fan base on mobile is huge, and I mean the game's like how old, and it's still in the top 10 of highest grossing apps on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just a sucker for art direction, even if the game isn't like top tier, and they're not anticipating this Pokemon game to be like in the vein of Sun and Moon or the other classic Pokemon titles. I'm just seeing like a scale size of Onyx, and you're on top of Onyx.
Yeah, that is cool.
That brings me back to when I was a kid, where, you know, you would read on the Pokemon card or the Pokedex the actual height of the Pokemon, and you'd be like, wow, this Pokemon's actually huge. Like Gengar is like 3 times your size, and you see him in the trailer running behind you, and he's huge. Like that tickles my fancy, man. Like that.
I agree. That is cool. Hey guys, I'm gonna step out for just 1 second. I gotta go check on my kids.
Sure.
So you guys keep talking about something.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you with the sizing of the Pokemon. I think that is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw some video that I hope is true, that there's going to be like the Mega Evolved forms showing up in that game.
Yeah, I think I heard that too. Also, I don't know if you saw, but like Eevee are like on your shoulder. They're tiny. They're little guys, you know, and like or they're gonna run at your side. But it's so cool. And also, I mean, the interconnectivity, like you were talking about, like my buddy at work, he's huge into Pokemon Go. Like right now, I'm gearing up to go do an event or something. It's like a Mewtwo event.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago, we had record heat here in Dallas, like the hottest temperature we've had in like 100 years. And he was out there grinding for that. Was it a Celebi, I think?
Oh, geez. Yeah,
And
I think I remember that.
if I was knee deep into Pokemon Go like I was 2 years ago, I would be suffering in that heat too, to be honest. So
yeah, it's definitely an amusing game. I mean, I played it for a while, dropped off, played it for a while again, and I slightly dropped off. I still have it on my phone though. I mean, I play it off and on, and I'm interested to see what the connectivity will, how it's actually going to work with the Switch game.
yeah, I can't envision it being super OP. Like, you know, people have this catalog and library of Pokemon. I can't see really like tap in the Pokeball and then they have all those Pokemon. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think what probably is gonna happen is gonna be like maybe you can, I don't know, maybe you can get a starter Pokemon, maybe another starter Pokemon, maybe get 2 starter Pokemon versus 1, or maybe get like a legendary Pokemon earlier in the game as opposed to the original intended encounter with the Pokemon. Like maybe you could get, instead of getting Zapdos at the power plant, you can get them at like halfway through the game or something. So
yeah, that's very true. That would be cool. I mean, I saw the fact that they said that they were you could transfer things from Pokemon Go into this. I'm just wondering what the functionality of that is, whether you can actually use them in the game, or is it just in that little camp-like thing that they had set up?
Right. And then, yeah, Nintendo can be super secretive about, you know, details like this. Like we don't even, man, we love the Switch and we love Nintendo, but it's crazy how we still love them in times when we don't even online service still, you know, like it's still not fleshed out, and I don't know if it's gonna have a virtual console. We don't know that yet, but we're still here, you know, we're still dedicated to them. I just hope that it works out, and I hope it doesn't blow up in their face and gives them bad press, you know, because it can only take one thing like that to really hinder sales and hinder, you know, awesome titles to come in the future.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't think that this is going to get any bad press. I mean, there hasn't been a solid Pokemon game like this that has ever been bad per se. So I think it's definitely going to sell, but especially with that the Pokeball controller too.
Yeah,
I bought the big package of, I think, Pikachu, or I might have bought Eevee, I don't remember, with the Pokeball as well. So I don't know, it's definitely going to sell.
Aren't those pre-orders like selling like hotcakes? You can't even.
I think they were. I got it a while ago. I honestly haven't looked. I pre-ordered it on Best Buy, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm still deciding whether to get Pikachu or Eevee, because I love the Eevee evolutions. So if I can like evolve my Pikachu into a Raichu, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be fun. I like the evolutions as well, although I would want them to have like all of them. Like personally, I want to see Umbreon and Espeon more. Yeah, when it comes to Pokemon, especially in the card game, I've always been Dark and Psychic pretty strictly. I love those.
Yeah.
And the ghost types, but they don't really show up as ghost in the card game. But you know what I'm saying.
So maybe what we could see with Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu is that it could be a games as a service model. Like you start off in Kanto, but maybe 6 months from now there's a DLC where you can go to Hoenn, and then
that would be fun.
Like if they do that and they monetize it to where like you know, whatever the Pokemon company does, they would make a lot of money, man. Like that would be crazy. Like maybe you could only get Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon now, but then when Johto comes out, you get Umbreon, you know, and that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think that'd be. But you mentioned earlier, a few minutes ago, about the online service. I think it's definitely going to get better once we end up with the $20 for the whole year in September. I think that's when they said it was supposed to be released. Don't you know about that, Ken?
Yeah, you can actually get pre-orders right now, which is, some people are like, pre-order an online service? I was like, that's funny.
It's just for the stupid card. I'm just going to buy it when it shows up on the eShop. I'm assuming they're just going to say, okay, here, click here and buy, so I'm just going to do it that way.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to see how that's going to be. I mean, yeah, everybody's like, from what I heard, is getting upset because of why they're going to make us pay. They never used to. But I just see it as an open door that it's not like they're just going to shove this money in a hole and just bury it. It's going to go to making things better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo tried. They tried and tried to keep it free. I mean, we had the Wii, we had the Wii U, and it was free. It was free. But you know what? If everyone's going to complain, and that's the way of the future, I mean, Nintendo's already takes a lot of slack for being too old school. I mean, they just had to do what they had to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it, especially when they with that the back catalog of games that we're end up going to getting with the subscription. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but
yeah, I hope it's not a rotation of 20 games every month. I hope they Netflix it, where it's just like whatever I want to buy. Because I'll tell you what, if they're going to rotate the games every month though, and I'm like in the middle of Ocarina of Time, or if it's June 31st or June 30th, and then Ocarina of Time is on there, but I know I'm gonna lose it next month, I'm not gonna want to start playing.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's going to be kind of the way of Xbox Game Pass, I'm hoping, because I'm pretty sure on Game Pass, unless I'm not thinking, and maybe I didn't try it in the right time frame to have this happen, if you download something, I think it's yours until you delete it, but if they will revamp the next set of games, but I think you still get to keep the game you already downloaded.
Yeah, you lose the games. The games that you downloaded during Xbox Game Pass, you lose them if you cancel your subscription.
So I'm hoping it works out like that.
Yeah.
That would be good, because then they just revamp a list of games every month, but you still get to keep what you already downloaded.
Oh, that would be cool. I've never actually paid for an online service, so I don't know how those work. So, but I'd be on board with that.
Yeah, me too. But the one thing I thought about is if people were complaining about memory use on the Switch just before, I think that's going to just zap everyone's memory right now. I've had a 128 gig memory card in mine since day one, and I think I've only used half of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I think, is going to suck up all my memory, if it works that way, at least.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I mean, memory cards are super cheap now. I mean,
I have a 64 gig one that I found on clearance at Target for like $12, if you remember. So I have that sitting by the wayside. But I just wish there was a way to, if I was to get like a bigger card, to consolidate it all onto one card. I don't know how it's going to be switching out the memory cards all the time.
Yeah, that'll suck. That will definitely suck. I know. Didn't they say that the Switch can handle a 2 terabyte card, and those don't even exist?
Yeah, they said it could handle a card that yet. I think it was 2 terabyte or possibly 4. I don't remember.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm excited for that, and if I'm not mistaken, it should be coming out in September, but I don't remember exactly.
No.
Now, talking about Virtual Console, fleshed out, do you think Nintendo's Virtual Console that would hold heavy hitters of like the GameCube or the N64, how do you think that would affect? It sounds like a dumb question, but how do you think it would affect sales? If
we got a Virtual Console or didn't?
If we got it.
Well, everybody's always saying we want it back, so I'm thinking that it would drive sales up for them insanely, but I'm thinking that they're not doing it because they might be doing something in the way of the Xbox Game Pass and just putting a library on, download it if you want, but it's going to be included into that the subscription. So you're getting two things for one. You're getting the ability to play online, and you're getting that at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening right now. I do wish that you could just have an eShop and pretty much get it, because It'd just be nice to be able to play all these old school Nintendo games whenever I want. Yeah. But on the flip side, I think Nintendo's playing it. Oh, it's a gamble. I mean, it's free money right now. It's just free money for them to get. But on the flip side, they need that online service to be a success. And if people don't buy it, then it's going to hurt. I mean, they want people to buy it right out the gates. They don't want to wait 3 years to see if people will slowly trickle in. And Smash Brothers will be a huge one too to make that happen. But we forget that there are people who don't like Smash Brothers, and so it's like, why are they going to buy the service?
I think there's enough people on the Smash Bros. Train and Splatoon and Fortnite right now. There's so many people obsessed with Fortnite that there's gonna be like, I need it, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, I know Fortnite did 2 million in pretty much like overnight, but is Fortnite that huge on the Switch?
There seems to be a lot of players. I mean, I'm playing it, and it's consistently the games are filling up within seconds.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but it's crossplay. You could be playing at.
It's actually not. I don't think.
No.
I've tried to play. My friends that I know play on other consoles. I've tried to play them, and I can't get to them.
I can't
still see them on the Epic Friends, but they don't show up in the game.
I can't play with PlayStation because of the whole controversy. But I play with my friends on Xbox and when I was on the Switch. So maybe they ironed out a bug or something. And then also the other night, I don't know if you guys saw that. I really don't watch TV, but there's a Nintendo ad that's going around that's saying "Play Anywhere" is their tag, right? And they showcase like Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Splatoon. The first game they showed on that commercial was Fortnite. So I don't know, man. I think they're really putting some chips in on the whole Fortnite train.
Yeah.
Well, good, because I mean it's just a no-brainer. To me, if you're going to play it on a console, the Switch is probably the way to do it in regards to being mobile, just kind of whatever you want. Though I heard the Xbox was smoother of a play, and PC is supposedly still the best way to go, but you know, it's PC.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is. PC is probably. It depends on how your play style. I mean, if you enjoy playing with a mouse more, you have a little better aim. Yes, but I mean, some people just like consoles. I mean, I started playing Fortnite on the Switch. I loved it. Downloaded it on my Xbox, and I played on both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played Fortnite the other day but I played it the other day on the new Xbox I got, the X. And man, that game is so pretty on the X. Like it's night and day. I have a vanilla PS4. It's just your basic PS4. But when I went over to the One X, the lighting is more dynamic, and whenever you open up a loot box, and each gun has its own color, like green, fuchsia, gold. Like it actually casts a colored shadow on the bottom on the enhanced version. So.
I didn't know that. That's
cool. It's really pretty, man. You played on the Xbox, right?
I have the Xbox One S.
The S.
Whatever the one was before the newest one that just came out.
Yeah, the S. And I think I have the X, and the X is the upgrade from that, I guess, because of the teraflops. I don't know much hardware, but
yeah,
it's so pretty, man. Like I don't want to play on my PS4 anymore because of that, but because of the whole controversy, I can't play on my Xbox with my Epic account because it's tied to my PSN account. It's so dumb.
Oh man. I
hope Sony fixes that problem because they're looking like the evil empire right now. I know but if you've got your two competitors, Nintendo and Xbox, taunting you, saying play together.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Then you at that point don't look like the bully. Just for that one game, just make it happen. You know.
It's probably more or less a investor thing where they just are out of touch and they don't understand. You know, the board is like, why would we? But it doesn't help. I mean, they were so in tune with the when the PS4 launched and the Xbox launched, they were so in tune with Xbox's dumb decisions for DRM and all that stuff that they made a commercial or at least poked fun at E3 saying, this is how you loan a game. And then they just literally handed over the physical copy. They were like straight up making fun of Xbox. So it tells me they're fully aware of how dumb this looks on their part.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a long time ago when the new generation just came out, right, Ken? It was
oh yeah, it was I believe it was the launching.
It was it Kaz Hirai and Shuhei Yoshida from...
Oh, I don't even know.
They were like, this is how you share a game. And they just hand one game to another guy.
And so for them to come in 5 years, pretty much, from that to this, I mean, I could understand... I could kind of sort of understand if it was Minecraft, even though Microsoft actually owns it, so Microsoft should be able to one that says, yeah, you're doing this. But let's just say Rocket League. Because you have to buy Rocket League. So I could kind of sort of understand, but Fortnite is a straight up free game. They make no money off it at this point. I guess,
Except
well, maybe
the save the world part.
Yeah, I guess if you buy the save the world part. But in reality, it just seems like they have no... It should be the publisher that says it, but whatever. I mean, I guess at the end of the day,
but they also do have the V-Bucks thing. I mean, there's the Battle Pass that you can buy too, so they do make cash off that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes through the PlayStation Store, because yesterday I just bought a skin. It was $25, man. It was hard to swallow, but I really wanted a skin, and it was it went through my PlayStation account, and it was like, add funds. And I was like, yeah, I know you want me to add funds. So it's $25 there. But
tell me something. What is the appeal? I suck at Fortnite, so I didn't really get into it. I thought I would when it came out on the Switch, but I just still suck. And tell me something. I don't really pay money for my free-to-play games. Like Fallout Shelter. I've played that game way too much, actually. And,
yeah, way too much.
But I like it. It's kind of like an ant farm, and or a fish tank maybe. You're just keeping everything alive and going. And I don't pay for these free to play games. I know I should just to support the developers, but I just don't. Why did you pay $25 for a free game?
It's gonna sound kind of silly, but there's two reasons. My buddy and I,
You broke up. Start over again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So a couple things. My buddy and I, we like to one up each other when it comes to skins. So we'll be like, hey, I'm gonna be on, and I'll be there waiting for him. And when he logs on, he sees me with the new skin. So it's kind of like we're one upping each other.
Gotcha.
And he'll be like, really? Did you really have to buy a skin? Now next time I'll have to buy a skin. But and then the other reason, it was the only brown dude in the shop, man, and I had to kind of represent myself a little bit. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I was tired of being a redhead, so I had to fork over some money. But
I think you would look great as a redhead, though. Just on the record.
Yeah, I bought the Battle Pass on my Fortnite as well, but I mean, I just decided to do it just because I wanted a couple new skins, and you can keep earning stuff with it too. So,
like what?
Well, as you go on and progress the Battle Pass, you earn stars, and every 10 stars you get a tier in the Battle Pass. So you unlock. It actually gives you more V-Bucks after a while, and you unlock the emotes and skins and stuff like that.
It's yeah,
and the paints too.
Yeah, the spray paints. It also doesn't help that the designs they have they're enticing. Like, you want to have that backpack, you want to have that picking axe, and when you buy the battle pass and you complete it, if you actually complete it, you get like a rebate in a way. You get your money back essentially. You don't get actual physical dollars. You get
at least part of it back in the V-Bucks, yeah.
Because I think when I bought my battle pass, I got like 800 V-Bucks, and a battle pass costs like 850 V-Bucks.
Yeah.
So if you have V-Bucks saved up from 2 battle passes ago, you could buy a battle pass without having to open your wallet up. So
Yeah. I mean, they definitely do make it a lot more accessible because you can buy like the upgraded version where you get like it shoots you up 28 tiers, I think it is. I bought that one, and I've had enough. Well, I accidentally bought one of the dances that I didn't mean to. So I meant to press the button for the preview, and then I pressed.
Let's see what the dance is. Get up and do it.
I don't even remember which one it was. But I accidentally purchased it, and then like crap. So I moved on, gained some of the V-Bucks back. So it was. I was trying to preview it for my friend, and I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Fine.
he got the floss dance. That.
Yeah, the floss.
Actually, you know what? I think it was that one.
Is that where the floss comes from? I thought the floss came from like the Katy Perry like.
It was some kid that she had on one of her videos, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not Fortnite then.
No. Fortnite mirrors real life dances like the dab and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could dab. There's something about Fortnite when it's you and the last guy, and the last guy's actually a 12-year-old, and then he dabs on you, kills you. There's something really. It's
something visceral about that.
Other YouTuber named Beat 'em Ups. He had a video on how he said that Fortnite stole one of his dances.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
At the end of his videos, he does this little silly dance in front of the camera as like the credits are rolling, and he's pointing out like new videos. And Fortnite has a dance that's almost identical to what he does.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he had a whole thing of like, oh, they stole my dance and this, that, and the other thing. But he was joking, but still, it was kind of funny.
I need to look through old footage of me dancing and see if I can get something, and then maybe that'll give me some hits on my channel.
That is hilarious. Oh man.
What about you guys? What are you guys playing right now on the Switch?
The one that I've kind of been doing. I have a review. I was trying to get this review out last night, but it sucked, and then I refilmed it because there was one part that I couldn't like really. I don't think I explained myself well. It's called Sleep Tight. Sleep Tight. It's an eShop game. I'm gonna start reviewing more eShop games because it's like I don't think people really care. I'll never get people to look at my review for Dark Souls, but I might be able to get people to look at my reviews for these lesser known games.
Yeah.
So I started playing
agree
this.
with that.
I started playing Sleep Tight, and the premise is you are a kid, and every night monsters are coming to get you. So everybody can kind of relate to that, whether or not there was monsters in your closet. I mean, you kind of like you've heard those stories since you being a kid. So, and then it becomes kind of like a Smash TV where you're running around from a top-down point of view, shooting these monsters that are coming at you, and the monsters can be fast, slow, big, small, whatever. And then it can be a tower defense game where you can buy couches for your walls and turrets, which are Nerf guns. And it all depends on that. Now, the gameplay, I'm going to post the video probably today or tomorrow. There are some serious flaws to the game in that there is no story mode. It's too difficult to keep going, and there's no save. I get how an endless game is supposed to be, especially in a tower defense game, but I just felt that to start back over after getting to night number 30, just have to start back over all the way to night number 1, and the first 12 levels are super easy, that it really deters you from wanting to play again, to have to beat the super easy levels just so you can get a little extra. So I have a mixed review of this game where it's definitely shows potential.
Yeah,
and
I can see that. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it is cool, but it needs some fixing. And an update could fix the game. It could fix it very quick. Or a sequel with improving this one. I hope they don't do the sequel. I hope they just do an update. Seriously, all they got to do is add a stupid story mode. I say this in my video. If you look at Plants vs. Zombies 2, the whole story is based around a dude who ate a taco that was so good, he wanted to go back in time so he could eat the taco again.
Just sounds like my life.
Yeah. And that's funny. And all you gotta do is add some silly story like that. I mean, it's easy. And the story only shows up, and it's still frames. It's kind of like the Fire Emblem still frames of the stories, where suddenly a still frame comes in, and you see text. And then another still frame comes in, and you see more text. And then, okay, and it happens once every 5-10 nights. Stages, whatever you want to call them. And then add a save, so I can just, if I get to night 36, allow me to jump back to night 30. That way I don't have to waste a half hour of my life on the easy mode.
Yeah, very true.
And it's $15. $15 is, for me, if it doesn't say Nintendo and it's a digital-only game, $15 is a lot of money for me. And so I'm going to be very cautious. It's worth $5, maybe even $10. But right now, I actually don't recommend it for $15. I'm going to keep playing. I actually started it up again, and I'm playing it right now. And I'd be interested, you guys, if you could do me a favor, watch that review. I feel my reviews are not as good as my other material. I feel I could do interviews pretty well. I could just kind of off the cuff talk BS about Nintendo in general. But my reviews of a video game, I feel, is where I'm weakest. So if you have any suggestions, I would be happy to hear.
I'll definitely watch that.
Sure. Yeah. I'll even share it too.
Yeah, and I need to do more. I'm hoping to do more. I was talking to Devin yesterday. I'm still having a hard time saying Devin. That I probably should do one a week. I should probably just do one eShop title a week.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that one. And the first one I'm going to get to help you with that is because I'm eventually going to do this myself too, is Flipping Death. I was very excited for that game to come out, and it was premiered when the Switch was still new, I think, and before the console even came out, and it's finally coming out in 3 days, I think.
Flipping Death, yeah, that's the one that you can like literally flip the world over or something.
I think so. You play as somebody that just died that is taking over the spot of death, and it's like a platform puzzle game. It looks really fun.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different game. I'm thinking of Death Squared. Never mind.
Oh no, Death Squared has been out for a while.
Yeah.
But no, both of you look it up on the eShop so you know what I'm talking about. It's been a while since I've looked at the video, so that's going to be the first one I get.
Okay, kind of reminds me of just the premise. Kind of reminds that PSP game, Death Junior.
I love Death Junior. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Squared, by the way, they had a physical copy only in Australia. EB Games had 500 copies, but it wasn't even a physical kind of, like, there was no cart. Just a piece of paper with a download code that looked like a cart.
Well, yeah, but Sonic Mania did the same thing.
Yeah.
And
then they
talking to David about that earlier. I was very obsessed with getting Sonic Mania when it came out. I wanted this just because it was a physical item.
Right.
And then they released it on the eShop. I bought that, so I technically have two of them.
Right.
But now, a few weeks ago, they released the physical one, and I was very annoyed by that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I want to get it. I want to get it just because the box art looks cool and everything about it looks neat.
Yep.
But did they add those other characters from this new physical copy into?
Hang on, I actually have it.
It's if you have the game already, Devin, you can all you do is you just download for $5. You just download all the.
Okay, so it's coming in as DLC. I didn't know if it was like a free update or something.
It's a DLC update, and it's got the encore mode and Ken, you didn't hear me say this when you walked out, but I was telling Devin that 2017's soundtrack of the year is held by Sonic. For me,
is it? That's another thing I talked about in my review. How the soundtrack pretty much sucks in in that other game. It's only one song, and it's a good song, but, 40 nights of it in a row. So, with the Sonic Mania Plus, and I was talking about Sleep Tight just a second ago. Sonic Mania Plus comes with an art book, a Sega Genesis reverse cover. There's a slip cover also, and then
you're gonna make me buy that.
Yeah.
the ultimate celebration of past and future, an all-new adventure with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, full of unique bosses, rolling 2D landscapes, and fun pixel-perfect gameplay. Best Sonic game ever, says GameSpot. 2 new characters and an all-new Encore mode.
Yeah, I have it. I bought it the day it came. Probably top 3 games of last year for me. And I'm obsessed, man. The whole team is like a dream team combination. It's, just fans that grew up and made a Sonic game. The composer is amazing. Did you play it yet?
No, unfortunately, I bought the statue one, but then I kind of stopped buying like all the collectibles because I was just getting too heavy into Zelda, and then I sold it when I heard that a physical was coming out. Then I got the physical, but Amazon sent it and it's all banged up. And if I'm going to keep even if I open it, I want my physical to be in good condition. So I'm going to mail this back and buy it off of going to a Best Buy or something and buy it.
Yeah.
So I haven't played yet.
Yeah, it's such a good game, and I forgot what I was gonna say, but I think you should play it. Because I grew up a Sonic fan. I didn't grow up one of those toxic Sonic fans that made deviant art posts or anything, but I grew up I'm born in '91, so my first one of my first experiences was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and the music, man, the music is amazing, so good. It's.
Were you more of a Nintendo or a Genesis fan then?
Nintendo for sure. It's just that I had cousins that had both,
Gotcha.
And so when I would go to my grandma's house, my uncle. So sometimes I didn't even have the option of playing a 64 until he got one. Then he got a PS1. My knowledge and love for games is just exists because the people around me loved games too. So, like my mom, she's the reason why I love games because,
really,
she bought a Genesis eventually, and we were playing Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Did you guys ever play that?
I love that game.
And it was a game that she could handle because she's not into the games, like really intense games. So we would play that for hours and play Sonic, and then they got me an N64, and it's just the people around me that loved it. So
yeah, that's how my dad was. He could play Dr. Mario and Tetris. That was about it.
Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine was actually one of my favorite Sega-based games back in that time.
And
my wife liked that game, but I never played it.
And if not to spoil anything, but there is a good nod to Robotnik's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine and Sonic Mania.
Oh yeah,
so, I think I've gotten to it.
Yeah, it's so perfect, man.
Yeah, I heard that this was all these are all fan-made games pretty much, which is crazy to think that that the fans made the best Sonic game in 20 years.
Yeah, and that. I also theorize that causes some type of inner rumblings with Sega of Japan because, let me just propose this concept to you, man. Just imagine you own this company and you hire these third parties, which is what they were: Christian Whitehead, Simon Thomley, and Headcanon Games. And they said, you know what? We saw what you did with Sonic C. We saw what you did with your fan-made games. Make us a game. Imagine them making a game, and it's better than any of the actual Sonic games that have come out in the last decade.
Yeah,
they're kind of showing you up at your own game essentially,
Yeah,
And,
for real.
And I hope Sega has been unpredictable in the past. I hope they don't just completely axe that team, like they just get rid of them and they don't use them again. You know, like that. Christian Whitehead should be able to have a chance to make either Sonic Mania 2, Sonic 5, or even do a really good Sonic 3D game. That's
what I heard someone say. Could they be the ones to do the good Sonic 3D game? Because has Sonic ever had a good 3D game? And I don't
Sonic
mean just
Adventure.
like
Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, especially for the GameCube. I know that had kind of like semi-positive, like 7s, you know, across the board. And
let's not talk about semi-positive. Let's talk about this is it. This is a great game. Let's maybe not a Mario Odyssey, but at least a Mario Sunshine or a 3D World. Has there been a Sonic 3D game that made it up to 3D World level?
Probably, I don't know, Devin, but I would probably say, yeah, I would probably stick with that answer, Sonic Adventure Battle, because it was a Nintendo exclusive, and it was a generally fun game. There was a lot of content. You had the Chow Garden.
Yeah, I like that, and I like the fact that you play as the good guys, the bad guys, and there was also a neutral story as well.
Yeah, the story was actually there was a substantial story there. Yeah, you have plot holes, but you know, the fact that you can fire up the game and not even play as Sonic, you can play as Shadow in the beginning. That's big. You know,
Shadow was really cool.
That's my favorite Sonic 3D game, I believe. But
did you ever play Lost Worlds, Sonic Lost Worlds, on the Wii U? Was it good or all? Do you know?
I have it, and I played a little bit of it, but it didn't really hold my attention for long.
Really? Because there's
I forgot to say, I'm sorry. The PS3 ones, Generations and Unleashed I think are really solid games too.
Unleashed, really? I know Unleashed was on the Wii, and it just looked weird to me because he just didn't become like a werewolf.
He turned into like a werewolf. Yeah. I didn't really follow that one. Also, Sonic and the Black Knight was like a. Yeah.
Yeah, those the Black Knight, the Secret Rings, and there was another one I think. Those didn't. I have Secret Rings, but Black Knight was in the same vein, and I didn't even get that. But Sonic Unleashed was. I know there was 2 segments to the game. You have the Sonic Speed section, and then you have the Werehog one. I think if the Werehog was executed correctly, meaning that the frame rate was ironed out, and maybe the gameplay was a little bit kind of freshened up a bit, I think it would have been a really good game. I know people give crap about the Werehog, but look, Mario literally
I might be one of those people.
Mario literally throws clouds out of his head in Galaxy 2, and people love it. I love it too. It's just I don't think it's the concept. I think it's the gameplay. You know, if the gameplay is good, the Werehog I think would have been a little bit more accepted. So
Mario can do whatever he wants. He's earned it.
I get mixed ideas on this one too, but one of my favorite, I guess it's technically a 3D Sonic, is Sonic Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that one a lot.
Yeah. They also gave you a lot of flexibility of picking. You could pick the heroes, you could pick the dark heroes, and then you had you could play as the I forgot what their moniker, but you know, SBO and Vector and them, and you can play as Cream and the Chow and Big the cat. So you have a lot. Yeah, you have a lot of flexibility if you can start off as. So I like that too.
All right, boys, we have about 10 minutes left. The time has flown. Who's So let's Who are we going to be for Smash Brothers? Who's going to be your main and your pocket? Do you guys know what the term pocket means? I just discovered it. I'm not like cool.
Actually, no, I've never heard that.
All right, pocket is pretty much your your second best, though. But you're really good. You can kill everybody with Marth, but you can pretty much kill everybody with Samus too. So, and you haven't shown anybody yet. So you just pull it out of your pocket and start whipping everyone's butt.
Okay. Well, for me, it's always been, since Smash 4, Little Mac has been my jam. I consider myself to be the best with Little Mac, at least in my friend circle. But my backup is Game & Watch. But if I had to go and pick like a new character that I'm going to try to, well, not new, but no, try to learn a little bit more. Well, I want to learn Ridley because I think he's interesting to see that he's even going to be in the game. But I'm probably going to go back to my original Brawl character, which would be Roy.
Roy's our boy. David?
Kirby is my go-to.
Evil Kirby, huh?
Evil Kirby, yeah. I love Kirby. His moveset's really fun to use. But as far as like my troll character that I end up really just beating my cousins with is Jigglypuff and Donkey Kong. Because
everybody likes Jigs.
They underestimate Jigglypuff because they don't see her or him as a fighter. So whenever I get them to a good percentage, I just use rest and I lay them out. So that's a lot of fun. And they're like, how did you do that? Why can you do that in the first place? That's not fair. But
Jigglypuff, is a very low-rated character in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people are powerful with him, and then some people have no idea how to use her.
Right, and that's why Jigglypuff is like when I'm with my cousins, we're picking our characters and they see me pick Jigglypuff and they think that they already have the one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not knowing that she has the sing ability and she has the rest ability, and that's where I get them. But
what do you do with rest? Like, how does that work? Because I've actually never seen. The only person I've ever seen really good with Jigglypuff is when Reggie got laid out by that pro melee person at the World Championship. So how do you lay somebody out with rest?
You just build up the percentage. It's down B, and her face has to be literally within the player's body. It's got to make contact. They have to be really close to each other. And rest is like a automatic KO when you're like above 50 or 60%. So
I haven't figured out how to make that work. I don't know how.
So you're sleeping?
If you miss, then you fall asleep and you become an open. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of game maneuver.
Yeah. Peach is my favorite. I struggled for the longest time with that third jump to get back onto the board. I would just fly off the board. So that's how I ended up with Peach, because she could just glide half the screen. And then slowly I was able to kind of master her. Although I would say that I'm definitely not competition worthy. If I want to troll somebody, I do Pikachu just because of that down B. I'm like, Pikachu, and everyone's like, shut up. So that's when I'm just trying to troll people. And then I guess my pocket would be Samus, where I'm pretty okay with her. I like to charge her up right away and then keep that charge throughout the fight so I can just somebody at some point.
Yeah, that's my actually growing up, my sister and I would play, and that was her go-to, and she was young. She wouldn't even call Smash Brothers. She would call Samus because that's all she knew about the game. So and now that I'm 26, she's 22, she still calls the game Samus. So
Samus, we getting Samus, huh? We getting Samus?
But well, that's another reason why I like Game & Watch so much is because he has that. I think it's his down B move where he whips out the bucket.
Yeah.
And it can pretty much suck up any energy blast or pretty much any projectile, if I'm not mistaken. My friend circles that played Smash never pay attention to that.
Right.
So I sit back in the background just catching things.
Yeah.
It's almost an instant KO. When you get the full bucket, you just boop right on top of it. Gone.
Yeah. Out of all my cousins, the one that actually gives me a run for my money, that actually is a good match for me, his main is Game and Watch, and it pisses me off because
Really?
Game and Watch, you control people too. You know, you've got I think your aerial back air is like this turtle, this snapping turtle that does a lot of damage.
I always thought it was a crab, but yeah.
And then the up A is that underwater helmet move that does like 35, 40 damage. It's so it gets to me. But
yeah, the back air is definitely his strongest move, and his forward air is it's second in best. I like the key with his down B when he's in the air.
Another one that are you aware of the flag move? It's the up tilt, and it's just like this 3-frame flag that he does. That actually is a really good move too. So
I haven't really mastered on how to use that very much.
It's hard, yeah.
I mean, Game & Watch was my favorite when he first came out in Sprawl, I think it was. I loved him, but then I moved on to Little Mac. He's really hard to use, especially when you use his forward B. If you're too close to the edge, you'll die.
Yeah. You have to time that correctly.
Game & Watch actually came out on Melee. He's been around for a while.
Oh, he has? Oh, geez,
yeah. Surprising. I remember like, whoa.
Okay, well, yeah, I used Game & Watch back then. I started out with Roy, and then I moved to him, I guess. I don't remember that. That's blowing my mind, actually.
But all right, well, you know, it's 1:56 Eastern Standard Time right now, so we should probably call it quits. We want to keep this at around the 2-hour mark. That way, you know, people. I don't mind ending a minute or two early, but I don't want to really stay like 10 or 15 minutes late. I want people to be able to really say, okay, at 1 o'clock we're done, or whatever, 2 o'clock, whatever time frame it is. But I say next week, let's do 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know Devin works on Saturdays. Today's Saturday, right? Yeah, I know you work on Saturdays, so we should probably try to do it a little earlier so you can get your stuff done. I don't know if that works for you, David. I like this 3-person dynamic thing we got going on.
Me too.
We should. I'm gonna make this live, or not live. I'm gonna allow this to just air, basically. If anybody wants to watch a rerun, repeat, whatever, go for it. We'll try to maybe look for some podcast sites that we can throw this on as well for future episodes. But if anybody has any suggestions, we would love to hear them, because, you know, we're just kind of, we're just 3 people talking, and we want to, if there's ways to improve that, we'll improve it. So, any closing words? Get some closing words in there.
Well, thanks to Ken, I'm going to soon be starting my own YouTube channel. I purchased my game capture thing last night, and I should be getting it in Monday, and I'm going to start doing that myself with streaming specifically on the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo to start with, just to dabble in it. And yeah, so thanks to my friend Ken here, he helped me get the game capture, and I am forever grateful. So, but that's a shameless plug for myself. So that's soon to be.
Hey, plug away. I'll whatever. David?
And I do have a YouTube channel, but there's no videos on. Also, because again, I think I'm gonna make a proper showcase of the game I found a couple weeks ago, just to kind of give a little bit of insight. Maybe even shout you out, Ken, so that you know you can have some. If I have any type of views, maybe they'll go your way. Just to kind of showcase the game, and because I know there are some videos out there, but I don't think another one will hurt. And then maybe that can get the ball rolling, so I can start, because I want to make more of an art channel, more of a maybe me drawing or doing some speed drawings of Nintendo characters or games.
Oh, you should totally do that. That would be awesome. Find your niche and just run with it.
I also want to do some conceptualized videos, like what ifs, or kind of like, because I work with I'm a drafter during the day, and I could use some of that software to make concept stages of what I would have liked to see in Smash games or in other games in general. So
yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Yes. So go for it. Let us know. both of you guys, let us know when that happens. My channel is still relatively small, but day by day it grows, and so let's just grow each other's channels. But so next Saturday, 11 Eastern Standard Time. We're in Texas, me and David, so that's 10 a.m. for us. But I think Eastern Standard Time is pretty much what everybody knows, I guess. So thanks everybody for coming. It's dangerous to go alone, so always share our channel, our podcast with friends. And that's pretty much it. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
And now I get to hit the X button, and see you later.